In this video, we will talk about payment voucher. So we need payment voucher when you need to pay any supplier or want to do direct expense. As you have booked a purchase now, you are going to pay against that purchase to that supplier. So for this, you will make payment voucher. So for making payment voucher, you will go to the voucher. And under this, you will be having payment voucher tab. Click on this. Under payment voucher, you have two kinds of entries. First one is credit, entries of bank, and the other one is entries of suppliers' payable accounts. Now I will click on Add New over here. There are multiple labels are showing. We will see one by one. First of all, payment details showing here. I will select today's date. Then we have payment modes. You can pay through check, cash and bank transfer, and through BDS, and also through other. Other mean here if not anyone from listing, you can go for other. So I will select check over here. Then payment amount, I have added 3,000 under payment amount. After this we have payment type, so either you are going to pay a supplier or you want to pay against any expense, you can choose from here. I will select supplier over here and bank from which I am paying through, so I will select cash here, paid to mean. You have give the supplier reference here, put check number here. As I put a check number over here under remarks, I can mention purchase invoice like here. It's number 1 I can put. Then this for if you want to make multiple debit entries. I selected account payable, then I have selected the supplier entry. That means system will ask you to select that specific supplier whom you are going to pay this amount. In description against which invoice I am paying, I can mention that. Like I am paying against invoice 9, so I will mention here 9. Then 1,500 as a debit amount. Then I will click on the plus icon over here so that this entry can add up over here. Here below you can see one line has been added. Right now its debit credit sides are not equal, so I will add one more entry. So I will again select account payable from here. Then supplier, then debit. I added 1,500 again. I will click on add button. As you can see, my debit and credit entries now are equal. If these are not equal, then system will not allow me to save these. So I will save it. So here it's debit and credit side should have to be equal as I have saved it. Its voucher will be generated and its entries will be added in the ledger. So as I click on edit, you will be able to the overview of payment voucher which has been created earlier. So now we will check into the supplier ledger. First of all, I have to select date range and then supplier and will click on submit, so that it shows my required results. Basically, what's happening over here is the amount of 1,500 which is showing over here. This has been paid by me to this supplier. And on right side under balance amount, after deduction of this 1,500, it's showing the remaining balance. This balance is also outstanding and I have to pay to the supplier in future. Now we will see how we can create direct expense. So for this again, you have to go the voucher. Then payment voucher. I will click on Add New then on this window. I will select a payment date then under payment type. Earlier we have selected the supplier, but for now we will select the expense. Then amount I will mention 5,000, then bank will be selected, then description reason of expense can be right over here. Remarks I am writing expense then. I will select any account from expense, then it would be against any customer. I will select that. And the expense type based on account. I will select the transport type, then under description paid to this customer on debit side I have added 2,500. Click on plus icon. As against its credit and debit sides are not equal, I will make and other entry to make them equal. Again, I will select an expense account, then customer and expense type. After this description paid to this employee and debit amount 2,500. So now these are equal on credit and debit both sides. Then I will click on Save. As we have created expense payment vouchers, so we will go to that report to check its details. We will go to the expense report and click on it. So there is showing different chart of account, that mean in which head I have made how much expense. I will select that chart of account and the date, then submit. As you can see, the expense I have made earlier, details of that are coming. Thank you. And for more detail, contact us.